Hey everybody, Speedy here, the new Studio Inks. We're on Vlog 11, 11 weeks in a row, operating the studio instead of just building it. Got some footage this time instead of it being my talking head kind of thing. You can't really see any of the details. It's just behind the scene footage of me actually using the space, and I don't want to give too much away. I can give a hint though. I got a little soft jazz going on in the background, like 1940s era. That gives a little bit of hint about what I'm working on. In this footage, it's working on the stop motion props and different things that I need for what I've scripted. It's been a fantastic week. It's been a hard week though. I'm working longer number of days with shorter breaks as far as my vocation. One of those 5 days on, 1 day off, 5 more days on. It's going to be a slog. So, and it's hot down here in the studio, so I'm not getting as much done during this week that I wanted. But, I'm going to get as much as I can in on the 1 day off I have. And I still feel really optimistic. Upgraded the music department where I've got it mostly worked out. Wrote a few songs to go along to the animations that I've already created. Began to make the Foley sounds for my Bunny V animation. Really psyched about that. You guys should be seeing that next week, or at least some teasers of it. What it was originally intended to be used for was just like animated shorts, to update on the channel and give news, that kind of thing, and to share my schedule, especially as it changes, my upload schedule and things like that. Um, I got my pilot for what I call Garden and Grail, which is me being out and about more adventure, things like that. It's the pilot one, so it's like almost an hour long. The rest of them in the future won't be that long. It's just it's the pilot one, and I felt like I needed to lay the groundwork for my identity a little better so that I can always refer back to it in terms of like philosophy and where I draw inspiration from. And I filmed a lot of that during my birthday. I did something cool for myself. At least once a year, I do something cool for myself because I'll admit it, I'm a workaholic. So, I work a full time job to be able to work full time in my studio. And it's a little challenging in the summer because of how hot it is. And yeah, I still haven't gotten an air conditioner because at this point, by the time I get one, I'll only need it for a couple of weeks. So it seems like kind of a waste. But, this is also when the prices go down on them, so I still may get one. It's up in the air. But made tremendous progress on both of my animations. I have one that's purely a digital animation, Bunny V, and added to the script. I wrote a trilogy, and I wrote 5 little shorts to use her as like just a spokesperson, and well, my imagination, she grew into so much more, and now I've added a whole second roster, if you will, like another secret cell of it. You'll find out as I release it, and like I said, I'll start putting the shorts out next week. My premiere days will be Wednesdays, so you can look for that. And got my studio glasses. Look at that. Fix the studio glasses. Yep. Then broke my work glasses and my library glasses. I have a long history of it. And so now I've got to take these to work and hope that I don't break them again. Well, I'll keep coming up with creative solutions if I do. I'll get into it. I'll tell the story. No more talking head, though. Let's get back to the footage. It's more interesting. Okay, so I just end up speeding up the second half of the footage in this because it's not really that interesting. It's just showing me working with my equipment and working on my project. This is for the stop motion one. I decided to speed it up because I mean I just didn't want to be a talking head all the time, and so I thought I'd go ahead and just put these in the background while I do the vlog. Okay, so I said the story about my glasses. Well, I first started wearing glasses when I was like 7 years old. Turns out I only need it for one eye, and only because I get eye strain because my right eye is like over focuses. It focuses like really, really close in. I can see really, really, really super small details really well. And I mean, it can focus like normal, but when I'm concentrating and looking really closely at details, it zones in and it causes eye strain. So I really only need one lens for that matter. And I don't know, I've considered I might actually one day get a monocle. Because then I'll possibly quit breaking them. But yeah, I got my first pair when I was 7 while I was in Nuremberg, Germany. And it's funny, one of those funny kind of stories where I think I went through maybe 6, 8 pairs of glasses this school year. It used to upset my mom. Oh my God. I break them all the time. I wasn't really a clumsy kid. It's just that northern Germany, kind of humid, you know? And this part's what's funny to me is because you hear those stories. "Oh, I had to go to school uphill both ways." It kind of felt like that. It really kind of felt like that. So I'd be walking to school and we had these steep, like, hills. Like, everything was like kind of terraced, like these really steep cut flat places into the mountain, and so we had these stairs we had to go down, and naturally we're kids, there's a line of kids going down the stairs, and you're impatient, and you're a kid, you want to play. We'd go sliding down the dirt trail next to the stairs because it's this nice steep hill, and well, you know where that story's going. I broke my glasses a lot horse assing around on my way home. you know, and I guess apparently I never really stopped breaking my glasses a lot. Just is what it is. And well, for me, the option is simple: spend $100 to replace my studio glasses or repair them. The lens is fine. I have two in, but I only need the one. The lens is fine. It's just that, well, I'm rough on glass frames. And I've considered getting metal ones, but I'm usually in a situation where it's really hot and I don't like how they like kind of hurt your face a little or they indent your face. So I tend to wear like plastic framed ones, but I also tend to break them a lot. So we'll see how these hold up tonight at work. I'm going to have to cut this short anyway. Um, but yeah, we've had a great week. I keep saying we. There's really only me down here, and then there's my different animated characters. I have a stop motion character. I have a digital character. I actually have hundreds more than that, but I'll get into those as I'm ready to release them. Bunny Bee, you guys will get a chance to see her on Wednesday, her premiere. I'm pretty excited about it because it's expanded and now it's got a really rich and awesome story. And I've worked out her personality a little bit more. And she's a fun character. She's a bunny, and that in itself has got its own story that I'll kind of have to probably get into during next week's vlog. I'll probably get into sharing like why a bunny. There's a lot of interesting reasons. One of them being Monty Python on the Holy Grail. That's an inspiration, but it's not the only source. It's not even close to the main source. Um, I have a million and one kind of sources for her, but I'm pretty excited about that. And the second episode of Garden and Grail will come out on Monday, and it'll be a lot shorter than the pilot because it doesn't need any exposition or explanation as the way the first one did. And we'll continue the quest to acquire the studio cat. I am rescuing a feral cat, a little feral kitten, and they're kind of notoriously skittish. They're feral for a reason. They're not. They've kind of gone back to the wild, if you will, partially. And But he's warming up to me and I'm warming up to him. And now every time I go by my mom and the little front garden there, he comes rushing out to greet me. And so I think we've bonded. And so I'm thinking possibly Monday I'll finally be able to have him comfortable enough to take him to the vet because I don't want to distress him. I don't want to just grab him and kidnap him and throw him in my vehicle, take him to a strange place, get him pumped full of drugs and nipped and cut and tucked. And, I don't want his vet experience and to be a bad one, and I don't want him to have a bad experience with me, that being like an early memory kind of thing. So I'm going slow because I'm very considerate of his feelings. I'm actually that kind of person until you step on my feelings. If you step on my feelings and you're a jerk about it and you're completely unempathetic and uninconsiderate, yeah, I will cut you out of my existence because that's what's safest and best for me. Um, but on the whole, it's because I'm sensitive. I'm a sensitive artist type, and I actually have a very gentle soul, and I've been on this earth long enough to know you kind of got to have extra thick armor when you're got a soft squishy side to you and when that's your main personality. And also why I just spend a lot of time reading, a lot of time doing artwork, and a lot of time playing music, because yeah, that's an awesome thing. Got my full music department finished out this week. Not really any footage of me setting it up because the space was already set up. It was really getting all the instruments aligned in the right place, getting my recording set up right, and beginning the process of making the Foley sounds for the animation that I've already got finished for Bunny V. Um, anyway, I guess we'll just wrap this vlog up. I got to run off to work anyway. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day wherever you are, evening and such. And I hope that all the awesome things that you dream of become manifest. I truly do. All right, guys, speedy out. We'll see you in the next episode of Garden and Grail on Monday. And Tales from the Drafting Table, it will be continuing on its scheduled dates, Tuesdays and Thursdays. And look for Bunny V, a little trailer of Bunny V coming out on Wednesday to premiere that series and to get that rolling. Alrighty, bye, y'all.